Okay, so I don't really know like exactly what I wanted to talk about here. I'm kind of I guess choked up is a strong phrase, but I'm very moved by a lot of emotions I'm having right now, and I attribute this a lot to my emotional vulnerability this past, I don't know, almost a week. Um, I've been very easily swayed in nostalgic emotions, sad emotions, just powerful, gripping sensations inside me that drive me to feel choked up and to be almost in tears kind of thing. But I'm not sad. That's the thing. It's like I'm not. I posted a status on Facebook, and I was really warmed to see a lot of positive, supportive responses from people on my friends list and friends and family. But I had to explain to everybody that I'm not sad. You know, um, I posted a status basically saying like that I found myself almost crying like 10 times today because I was very emotionally vulnerable. Even, and I explained the status. I'm not sad. I'm just very emotionally fragile, and at this moment, and I don't really have a reason why. I was just kind of thinking like I'd hear a song. I'd hear just a song I've heard 1,000 times, but the words and the melodies would strike me differently, and it would just choke me up, and it just in the most random times. I'd have a random thought, a random flash of memories, and I'm feeling those emotions again right now because but this is also sad, but it's also empowering and also limiting, kind of scary. It's confusing, and it's a topic I kind of want to talk about more in depth in a video, but I don't really want to organize my thoughts on it because if I organize my thoughts, I feel like those free-formed thinking patterns kind of lose their meaning if I script it in a way. And what I'm talking about, I know I'm kind of dancing around. I'm not really dancing around anything. I'm working my way to it. Is Roosterteeth and Achievement Hunter, Red versus Blue, and all this entertainment that I grew up with. And I'm watching Red vs. Blue right now. I'm about to. I wanted to talk about Rooster Teeth for me, and I always want to talk about the things that inspire me because I always hope that I can shed some light on where my sources of inspiration have come from and how much of an impact these things have had on me. Because they have, to the point where they're integral to my everyday life. I almost wanted to get, and I still almost consider getting a Rooster Teeth and Achievement Hunter tattoo because I like to get tattoos of things that have had an impact on me, and a mix of things that I just want to get a tattoo of. But the thing is about Rooster Teeth is they're not the same company to me anymore, and as to a lot of people, for a myriad of reasons, and I can't even list them all right now. But I'm, it makes me really sad, almost ashamed to admit it, but I've unsubscribed from Rooster Teeth on YouTube, and that's something I thought I would never do. But I found myself, and I really kind of stepped back and I looked at it and thought, when was the last time I clicked on a Rooster Teeth video that wasn't old? When was the last time I saw them pop up in my subscription feed and think, yes, new RT content? I hadn't watched a new release of a video of theirs in over a year, even though they were in my subscription box. I just never clicked on new videos. I would maybe go back days later, a week later, and maybe watch on the spot or something like that. A podcast. I don't think that counts. That's not. I mean, it's content, but it's not content. So, and I was just kind of. I kind of took a step back and I wanted to look at Rooster Teeth as a whole, and I realized, seeing that half of the people I'm looking at, I don't care about, and it's not because they're new. It's not because they're not the originals, but in a way it is because Rooster Teeth to me was Matt Hullum, Joel Heyman, Jeff Ramsey, Bernie Burns. I would say his last name, otherwise people will say I forgot. and even getting up into Gavin, and even getting we have Monty, we have Nate, and I say Nate, and half the people probably don't know who the fuck I'm talking about. Nathan, rather. Like, these are the people who took a hold of my interest and never let go for like 10 years. 10 years I was dedicated to this company's content because I grew an attachment to the characters of their shows, to the personas of their shorts, and to the people behind the content. And I got hooked on the way they interacted with each other. In a way, Roosterteeth shaped a lot of my comedy, most of my comedy, most of my sarcasm, my outlook on life, the way that I perceive certain things, my desire to dig for details in certain things, and the people who I watched in Roosterteeth really just kind of like left a mark on me. And when I look at Roosterteeth now, I don't see them. And I kind of knew it was happening as it was going along, like as Blaine Gibson was there. I realized, oh, I really don't like Blaine. And that's not because he's Mr. Meaty Musclehead. That's not, like, the people that they were bringing in didn't have the Roosterteeth charm. And even though a lot of times they came from the community, so they did, it just didn't feel right. It kind of felt like my personal world was being invaded by people, and that's nothing against. I don't hate any of the new people. I want to make that abundantly clear. I don't hate Blaine. I fucking hated Brandon Farmahini, and that's just because he was goddamn annoying and just fucking. I fucking hate Brandon. I didn't hate most of these people that were coming into the content, okay? I want to make that clear. I didn't stop watching because these people were here and these people weren't here, that wasn't how it was. I just kind of was going along and thinking, the content just doesn't feel the same, and that's because, it also has to do with, like, more budget, better production value, gives it, like, a different feel, different people directing content gives it a different feel, and that's all fine, I can handle that. But, and God, dude, I love Ruby. I love Roosterteeth. I love Red vs. Blue. I love Ruby. I love the podcast. I was there with the Drunk Take podcast. I was there at Pajama Achievements. But as things are going along, I don't know, like, because then we get to Achievement Hunter. And I have so many fond memories of watching their content. I think up until episode, like, 130 for the Minecraft Let's Plays, I physically sat there and I didn't multitask. I watched their Let's Plays. Watched them, which I don't do that. But I was so invested in the people. Ray, Gavin, Jack, Jeff, Michael, getting into all of them. I was so invested in them as people and their interactions and their chemistry and the jokes and the humor and the sarcasm and the degrading of each other with just it all being such good fun, that I watched them thoroughly. And even with new people, even when Ryan came into the mix, I loved Ryan. And then Ray left, and I started getting a little sad because Ray was gone and Roosterteeth was taking a turn, and I kind of felt like just the company that I had invested so much of my time and effort and mental fortitude into and had adopted so many of the mannerisms of was just kind of separating from me because I couldn't relate to the people as much anymore. Again, the production value went up. Certain video series stopped coming out. New ones came out, and they were good. But it just all felt so strange. I started to kind of feel distant from the company. And it's hard because I got so many things I want to say, and there's so many things I want to praise. But I find myself bouncing. When it comes to Red versus Blue, I absolutely love Red versus Blue because for me, like I'm getting choked up a little bit. Like I'm passionate. I was always so passionate about Roosterteeth, Red vs. Blue, to the point where they became part of my daily routine. I'd wake up and I'd watch their videos. I'd go to bed watching their videos or listening to the videos or their podcasts. I would use them as achievement guides, of course. I would. And you have to understand the level of integration they had in my life. Whenever I was at home, before work, after work, on my days off, just playing games, making videos, editing videos, writing stuff, drawing stuff, anything I did at home. Because I'm not an outgoing social person. I spend most of my time at home doing the things I love. The one company, the people who are always there with me was Roosterteeth and Achievement Hunter. They have been a part of every single project that I care about in some way, to the point where they literally were referenced indirectly, in a way, in my book, of which I had removed, but there was Minecraft Let's Play quotes in the book. I don't know why I said it like that. There was a part, it was so dumb, it was no way in, no way out, and that was in the book, and even though it's innocuous, to anybody reading, it doesn't mean anything, I put it in there as a nod to Roosterteeth, and they inspired so much. The storytelling of Red vs. Blue, the comedy of Red vs. Blue, so much about it has just been integrated into my life to the point where it can never leave me, And whenever I was sitting around watching, playing games, they were just in the background. A video, a podcast, Red vs. Blue, anything. I would go to bed watching Red vs. Blue. I constantly, even now to this day, go to bed watching their Let's Plays because they're almost like a safety blanket. Whenever I can't sleep, I have a hard time sleeping outside of the comfort of my own bed. If I have to stay in a hotel, if I have to stay at a friend's house, if I have to stay anywhere. When I moved to Michigan, and I was staying at Sam's parents' house for a couple days till we could get into the apartment, I have their podcast playing on my iPod, and I was going to bed listening to their podcast because they make me feel secure, because they carry the weight of so much of my life that without them, it feels vacant in a way. And now that's not to say I have an addiction. That's not to say that I can't not ingest their content, because there are definitely days, weeks, whatever, where I go and I really don't engage in their content outside of here and there, because I have grown. And I found other content to watch, and I found other things to keep me busy, and I've developed into a person who doesn't always need the comfort of their voices to do what I'm doing. And that's a lot of what it is comfort, but it's also, again, it's having put a piece of me into them and a piece of them into me. To invest so much in your life, to literally watch these people turn into who they are now, like watching Michael go from being rage quit to marrying Lindsay and having 2 kids, to watching, and this still makes me sad, man, watching Jeff go from the dude who a lesbian stopped being full lesbian and married him, like immediate, like at the reception of his, like, finalizing of his divorce, like the party of finalizing his divorce of his previous marriage, gets engaged to Griffin. And Bernie and Gus saying I think that's a terrible idea, to them having their daughter Millie, to watching them go through a divorce, to watching Bernie talk about his wife Jordan, to them getting divorced, and then him and Ashley becoming a thing. And there's just so much Roosterteeth has done for me, and so much that they have helped, they've lended who they are in the development of me. And I've never met them. I'll never meet them, I'm sure. They've been in my dreams, and that's nothing weird. I'm sure I know a lot of people have had, people talk about in their content that the people have dreams of them. I've had them in my dreams before, and I obviously aspired to work at Roosterteeth, but with Roosterteeth selling out and being acquired by larger companies, and the content that they're putting out now just doesn't feel the same. And again, a lot of it, has to do with it's not the original crew that I know and love. I can't listen to the new podcast anymore, because it doesn't feature the people I care about. Like, I fucking love Bernie and Gus to death. I know Joel's a nut, and I'm aware of that. He's always been a nut, but I don't know, guys. I really just want to get the point across of just how much Achievement Hunter and Roosterteeth really means to me. And how, even if I've drifted from their content, mostly Roosterteeth, I still do watch Achievement Hunter because I do enjoy Matt, Jeremy, Fiona, and the new crew. I do enjoy them, even if it doesn't feel much the same anymore. I feel like I know these people, you know? I feel like they're in a way, my friends. Because when I can watch Jeff, he gets so passionate about some things and get an emotional response from Jeff talking about things that hurt him, how he loves this community with all of his heart, and addressing the faults of the community and talking about the company and talking about all of his good times and watching him go through a divorce. To watch Jeff get emotional over stuff like that, have me get emotional, is a response of just true affection and admiration for these people. And I don't know. I'm sad that I can't enjoy them in the way I used to, but I will always have their content, and I can always go back and watch the content that made me feel safe, because times were simpler back then. It was work, come home, play games, and listen to Rooster Teeth content. Repeat. It's very easy, very simple, very mindless, and I indulged. And while life may be more complicated, while I have gone across thousands of miles to get to where I am now, and while I have gone through turmoil, tribulation, heartbreak, and rising like a phoenix. Not very graceful phoenix, but I'm rising like a phoenix. I'm still trying to rise. I'm climbing. I know that one thing helped me get there, and that was a band of fucking misfits that came together from an IT company and formed something incredible. So, thank you to Rooster Teeth. Thank you to Achievement Hunter. You helped me make me who I am.